Another way composers and performers play with expectations has to do with chords, which chords they use. And there's a story you tell about Joni Mitchell and some trouble she had with bass players. I wondered if you could tell that story.
Bass players typically in pop music are playing the root of the chord. The best way to describe it is it's sort of like the anchor point. It's the point that your ear is drawn to.
It's home.
Right. It's the harmonic home. And Joni writes her and invents her own chords and her own voicings. And she doesn't know any music theory. So bass players used to ask her, well, what's the root of that chord? Because they wanted to know what to play. But Joni felt that the music lost something as soon as they did play that note. And uniquely among popular songwriters, she writes ambiguous chords, chords that could be interpreted in two or more different ways. So when she finally met Jaco Pastorius, the late Jaco Pastorius, the bass player from Weather Report, she met a really kindred spirit because he didn't ask her what the root was and he didn't look for it. He danced around the ambiguity, which allowed her music to maintain a more ethereal and I think really a more open-ended quality.
Is that what makes her music, gives it that kind of floating quality?
I think so. It lives in that world of ambiguity. In a sense, it's like a cubist painting, where you might see a face from two different perspectives at once. What the cubists were trying to do there was mimic the brain. The idea that the brain can recognize your face dead on or in profile or from all different angles. But the brain is able to process all these different views sequentially, and the cubist wanted to collapse across the fourth dimension and present at one instant both views of a face. And I think what Joni was trying to do was the musical equivalent, present both views of a musical chord progression. And Jaco allowed her to do that.
I met a friend of spirit. He drank and womanized, and I sat before his sanity. I was holding back from crying.
Daniel Levitin is a neuroscientist at McGill University. He talked with Anne Strange-Champs about his book, This Is Your Brain on Music. Coming up, why the two halves of your brain are so different. For To the Best of Our Knowledge, I'm Jim Fleming. This hour, Wiring the Brain, is part of our special series, Meet Your Mind, a user's guide to the science of consciousness. Brought to you by Wisconsin Public Radio and PRI, Public Radio International.
Our series, Meet Your Mind, a user's guide to the science of consciousness, is supported by Promega Corporation, providing tools and technologies for research in life science, and the Noor Foundation, exploring meaning and commonality of human experience.